Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first episode of Looney News. Now, I know most people have seen my video, previous upload, that I have ended what I did before and I'm getting something new. This is it. It's basically me just talking about different news articles that I find. And this one's quite interesting. This one is titled Concorde could fly again. Now, if you remember correctly, the Concorde was a plane that could travel twice the speed of sound. That's twice just over 700 miles an hour. Or is it meters per second squared? I can't remember which one. If it's 700 meters per second squared or 700 miles an hour, I know the comments are going to bitch at me about that. But it was discontinued in 2003 because of a crash in Paris in the year 2000, because a bird or rubbish, either one of the two, I can't remember, got itself into the engine and a catastrophic failure happened. So it was discontinued in 2003 with its final flight then. Now, I didn't know about this, but there's this club called Club Concorde, which consists of ex-captains, ex-charterers, I think that's pronounced, and people passionate about the Concorde. They hope to raise £120 million in funding for their return to flight project. It's basically, that project is when they buy an old Concorde and restore it to fact new, basically, so it can fly again. Now, this is quite interesting because it was discommissioned for a reason. Well, the main reason was because of fear, since because of the catastrophic failure, they didn't want it happening again, so they ended it. It was fear that stopped it. They posted it on their website, and I quote, "The main obstacle to any Concorde project to date has been, where's the money? A question we heard until we found an investor. Now that money is no longer the problem, it's over to those who can help us make it happen." This organization hopes to buy the Concorde currently displayed at, I'm going to butcher this, Le Bourget Airport? Bourget, I think that's pronounced. I'll subtitle the video. That's in Paris. If it's successful, the plane will be restored before resuming operating as a private heritage aircraft that will be flown at air shows and be available for charter. So basically, what that means is that it will only fly at air shows, and if people pay money to use it as a private jet, basically. It won't be used for it won't be in the public domain. You have to pay money for you to use it for a journey, basically. So you have to pay quite a lot of money because they need the money to keep it restored, to keep it going. So it will be quite a lot of money. The aim is to recommence flights in the year 2019, which is in 4 years, which will coincide with the 50th anniversary of the Concorde's first flight. I think that they planned that, but I'm not sure how well they planned that, since they only just got the money. So I'm not sure how they... I think that's more of a coincidence than anything, but you never know. The club also has a second project to bring back the aircraft into the public domain, but that's with plans to display a Concorde in the London and Paris airports. By London it means Heathrow, not most likely. Here we go. In London, the Concorde will be displayed on top of a 2-deck platform on the River Thames near the London Eye. It will be a new tourist attraction, which would include a restaurant, bar, souvenir shop, and aircrew presentation area. So I was wrong. It won't be it won't be displayed at Heathrow. It'll be displayed next to the London Eye, which, if you don't know, is basically a gigantic Ferris wheel. It'll be displayed there as a new attraction, tourist attraction. That might be a good idea. I'm not sure how they'll do it for Paris. It's not saying anything about it. It'll probably be back at the Le Bourget airport. Not Bourget, Bourget. They don't pronounce the cheese, Charles. You should know this. You studied French. Here we go. A British businessman has provided a £40 million investment for the displays, which the club hopes will be completed by late 2016. So that'll be next year, somewhere after August, I would assume. While the club project is focused on preserving a symbol of the golden age of air travel, commercial airlines have been progressing in their plans to launch contemporary supersonic jets, which are basically what the Concorde was. So they're trying to replicate the technology used, but use it like the Concorde was. Because when the Concorde was flying before, it was used as a public domain airliner. It was used to get from people from A to B, normal people from A to B, incredibly fast. Obviously, it won't be as fast now with the new plane that goes from that apparently has gone from London to New York in about an hour. This August, the company Airbus filed patents for an aircraft capable of flying 4 times the speed of sound, which can go from London to New York in an hour, which is the one I was talking about. I'll probably put a picture. Probably won't. I'm not actually sure. Let's see if I can get a picture or not. So that's basically it. So I'll hopefully put pictures. I'll definitely put subtitles, because I know my speech is horrible and I'll probably butchered most of the names. But yeah, that's basically it, which is quite extraordinary, because though I sort of understand what they're trying to do, since I love the Concorde, I never flew on it, but I love the idea of it, how it can go twice the speed of sound. The only plane I think is faster was the Blackbird. I think that's the only plane faster now. But no, the other plane is the one that the Airbus filed patents for, the one I was just talking about. That can go from London to New York in an hour. Those are the only two that I think that's faster, because I think the Blackbird can go Mach 6? Mach 3 or 6, I can't remember. I'm trying to think back when I went to Duxford, because it's on display at the Duxford International Airport, which is basically just a gigantic air museum. I can't remember. It was either Mach 3 or Mach 6. I'm probably wrong on both accounts. It's probably Mach 4. I'll double check, and I'll probably subtitle it with exclamation marks with "Charles, you idiot." Of course I would be doing that. So that is basically it. I hope you also enjoyed the footage in the background. That's basically what I'll be doing for all of them. I'll have video game footage, so it's not just a blank screen with my name, with my voice in the background. It'll be actual game footage. This one is of Star Trek Online, one of my favourite games ever. I put in so many hours into it. I can't remember actually how many hours, but it's quite a lot, and I just love it. I would recommend it to anyone, even if you don't like Star Trek, but even then you wouldn't really play it. If you're a huge Star Trek fan like I am, play it. It is definitely worth it. It's free to play. The only thing you have to pay for are some of the new ships, which I showed the Zen shop. Those are the only ones they have to pay for. You get new ships by leveling up. I've talked about this in a previous review of it previously on my channel. So Thank you guys for tuning in to Looney News, the news of the world, all in one place. Goodbye.